Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Joy-Con Cast. I'm your host Nicholas, and this week we are tackling Nintendo Switch news. All types of news from eShop sales to potential Nintendo Directs, leaked games, gameplay or the lack thereof, file sizes, and so much more. Welcome to this week's Joy-Con Cast. How is everybody doing this week? We have a lot of news to talk about regarding our favorite hybrid console, and there's a lot that I want to talk about, and then there's a lot that I really want to go in depth and talk about as well, because there's some interesting things happening, and of course, as usual, I'm always like a week late with stuff, so a lot of this may have been talk of the town last week, but hey, I'm getting to it now, gosh darn it. But either way, to kick things off, there is an upcoming Nintendo Switch eShop sale for the UK, and I believe this actually starts on April 11th, which would be today. If you're listening to this on April 11th, there is a pretty big Nintendo Switch eShop sale going on. It's one of those really big ones where even Nintendo's own titles are, even those are getting some pretty hefty deals. So there's a huge Switch sale going on via the eShop in the UK. Huge titles like Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey are going on sale, along with some ports like Skyrim, Doom, Dark Souls. There's also a Nintendo 3DS sale going on. I'm not too interested in that, but I will go through some of the major highlights from the sale, the ones that have been confirmed thus far. There may be more sprinkled in, but the ones that I know about, the ones that are confirmed, Breath of the Wild will be 30% off, which is not bad at all. We've seen some Nintendo titles go on sale, but for Breath of the Wild and the next game as well to go on sale is pretty big. Super Mario Odyssey is going to be 33% off. Kind of an odd percentage, 33, I don't know, but either way, those are two huge Nintendo Switch titles, and you can get them for a pretty a lower price than usual. And we don't really see Nintendo first-party titles go on sale all that often, so pretty nice sale. And again, this is UK only. I don't think it's coming to North America. However, even though you have to kind of, there's a workaround, you can always change your profile or make a profile on your Switch since it's not region locked. You can make a UK profile. Granted, you have to go through and get UK eShop credit, but you do have the option to take advantage of the sale if you're in North America. But moving on, we also have Doom 50% off. I was gonna pick that up during the last Christmas sale they had. I ended up picking up Skyrim instead, but I do kind of want Doom on Switch to replay it for Doom Eternal. But Doom 50% off, Skyrim is also 50% off. I think those should just be the regular prices. $29.99 is still a little too much for some of those games, but moving on, we also have Dark Souls Remastered for 30% off, and I've wanted to play Dark Souls Remastered. I'm usually not somebody who likes the Souls type games, but having it on Switch would be fun as heck, man. So if this comes to North America, I would gladly scoop this game up for 30% off. I definitely want to play it. I know it's probably not a game I'll see through to completion, but still, it's a game that I'd at least want to put a couple hours and just play on Switch and see how it runs and all that. But Dark Souls Remastered, 30% off. Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, also 30% off. And I highly recommend this game. I haven't played this game in a minute on Switch. I probably should get back to it, but this game is so much fun on Switch. I mostly play in handheld mode. I went through when I first got it, I played this game for a couple hours every night, just laying in bed playing some Diablo 3, and it runs really, really well. It's a stable 60 FPS. It looks really good. It plays really well. I would highly recommend it. I think I got it half off. I think it was half off during the last North American sale. Even though I don't play it a lot anymore, I'm definitely going to have to get back into it. It definitely was a steal at $30. I put a lot of time into it. I love it. It's a ton of fun. But 30% off for Diablo 3. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is 34% off. If you want a nice little platformer that's different from maybe the Mario titles. Pretty fun. I played this game on Switch as well, and I like it. It is pretty difficult at times, but not like over the top difficult. It's just like you gotta get your timing right. But other than that, I like it. Another personal favorite of mine, LA Noire, is 66% off. I love LA Noire. This is still a game I'm playing on Switch. I've yet to beat it. I'm working on it, though. I'm working on it slowly but surely. But I love this game. Besides some graphical errors, like there's some hiccups here and there. Other than that, it's been an absolute treat to play. I love it. I love this game. It's so much fun. Next up, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is 50% off. We've seen this go on sale quite a bit. And it's odd because I hear a lot of like good things about this game. So I don't know if it's not selling well on the eShop or if it's selling good, but they just want to get more people into it. I don't know, but 50% off for Mario plus Rabbids. I'd highly recommend it. It's a very fun. It's a new, different take on the Mario games with some strategy elements thrown in. I love it. I'd highly recommend it. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is 42% off. I've been wanting to dabble into Monster Hunter for a while. Maybe I'll end up, well, if this is on UK, obviously I can't take advantage of it, but one way or another, I might end up getting my hands on a Monster Hunter game on my Switch. I used to play a lot of like Monster Hunter, I don't know if it was Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate or something of the sort. I played one of the Monster Hunters on 3DS, and I loved it. It was so much fun. Like, collecting gear, finding new monsters, like, upgrading stuff, talking to NPCs, getting quests. Like, it was just so much fun. I loved it. I synced so much time into it. I think I got it, like, before the summer. I remember, like, there was one summer. I just spent the entire summer playing Monster Hunter. I don't remember which game it was. It was one of them on 3DS. It was something Ultimate. It was a ton of fun. So I'd love a Monster Hunter game on Switch. I haven't played Monster Hunter since then. So maybe I'll take advantage of this somehow. But that's Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, 42% off. Octopath Traveler, 33% off. Another, well, I was going to say little game, but a giant RPG I've been wanting to get into. But there are so many games I'm playing. I'm still playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 right now, so that's kind of my RPG I'm playing. I recently started up Fallout New Vegas on PC. That's going to consume a lot of my life. But Octopath Traveler, I want to get my hands on. I definitely do. I missed out on it at launch. I didn't pick it up on day one. I don't know. I don't think it interested me all that much. But if this ever comes to North America for sale, I'll scoop it up just to have it. So that when I'm ready to play it, I can take advantage of it. Next up is Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, which is 33% off. Not bad. Another game that maybe shouldn't necessarily... Well, I don't know if... I was going to say, I don't know how much these are... on other systems, but for 33% off, I mean, it's still 50% off. I got it for 50% off on PC like a month after it released. So 33% off isn't bad, but I've definitely seen it for better on other systems. And then finally, just one of the last ones that I've confirmed here, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is 33% off. I would highly recommend it. Tons of fun. There's so much to play and explore here. There's a really great story, and I personally am really enjoying my experience with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 myself. So I am working on that right now. Hopefully I can beat that and actually play through the, is it Tora Country or Torna County or something like that? There was like side DLC to it that's kind of like a separate game. I definitely want to play through that as well. So, but yeah, that's the huge Switch eShop sale. We don't really get too many of these often. The last one I remember was like around Thanksgiving. I think. Because I remember, I know there was one during, I want to say it was Thanksgiving. Because it was around the time that Let's Go came out, and I picked up Skyrim for half off, and I played that. And then there might have been another one during like Christmas, and I picked up Diablo 3. Yeah, that had to have been around Christmas time. So I remember. Yeah, I remember that. I remember playing that on Christmas. I remember playing Diablo 3. So yeah, we don't get these like very often, but hey, we'll take it. Of course, like I said, it is UK, not North America, but hopefully North America gets something. But I don't check. I have like I have like a UK and an Australian profile on my Switch, and all these different places, Mexico, like. So I like to check the different sales every now and then. I haven't done it in a while, so I don't know if UK gets as crazy sales like this often. I don't know. But hey, at least you're getting one if you are in the UK. You're getting a really decent sale. I just listed confirmed titles that I knew of. There's probably a ton more sprinkled within. But that is the huge Switch eShop sale on the UK starting today. Moving on. We got some Mortal Kombat 11 news. So, Mortal Kombat 11 was at PAX, and it was actually playable on Nintendo Switch. However, there is absolute no gameplay to be found on the internet. There's none. I could not find any. And at first, that was kind of odd to me, because NetherRealm has shown tons of gameplay on I think like PS4 or Xbox. I've seen gameplay, like official gameplay from those. But there's no gameplay revealed for Nintendo Switch. However, I've heard that it runs at a steady or else a locked 60 FPS. And I believe it. I mean, I know there's some people from IGN. I think it was Brian Altano. I enjoy his work over at IGN. And he said that it feels like it's 60 FPS, which, hey, is great news. I'm probably going to pick this game up day one. But, like, graphics and frame rate, like, that stuff does concern me because I do have a PC. I have a PS4. I have better ways to play my games. But I want that hybrid experience. I want to play it in handheld mode. And those, the frame rate, the graphics, like those do concern me. And especially for a fighting game, if it's not competent enough, I might have to go elsewhere with my purchase. But to hear that it's 60 FPS is really, really great news. I still want to see like gameplay though. So hopefully that, I mean, the game does come out, I believe, the 23rd, which is a Tuesday. I believe that comes out in like 2 weeks now. I mean, hopefully there's actual gameplay shown before then. This very well could be a day one purchase for me, or else I'll wait until I actually see gameplay and hear how it runs. Because I really did enjoy Mortal Kombat X or Mortal Kombat 10. I played through the story mission on that, and I liked it. I played some stuff online, and I had a good time with it. I played that on PS4 and PC, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm excited for the next installment here, and I'm excited to play it on Switch, but I'm hoping for the best for this version of the game. It is concerning that there's no gameplay. I mean, I'm hearing good things about it. I'm hearing good things about the gameplay, and it's a solid experience, but NetherRealm, they're not showing anything, and so it's kind of worrisome. I don't know how confident they are in it, but hopefully it ends up being just as good as the other versions, as far as frame rate and visuals and all that go. I'm sure it's going to be a solid story and a solid gaming experience, but I do want to see gameplay because this is $60 that I'm going to spend. So, moving on, we have some more Mortal Kombat 11 news while we're on the topic. Mortal Kombat 11 is up for pre-purchase on Nintendo Switch. Main game is $59.99 and will take 22.5 gigabytes. There's also a premium version available for $99.99, which contains the base game plus 13 DLC packs, although no DLC contents have been confirmed. So from what I've read, the base game, from what I've read, there will be a day one patch or day one, a day one update, day one, you know how it goes, day one download, day one update, whatever. And apparently that is like twice the amount of storage as the main game. So you're looking at a 22 plus gigabyte download here for Mortal Kombat 11. So if you have the base Nintendo Switch, just a 32 gigabyte, hard drive, good luck. Good luck. You probably won't be able to download this without a micro SD card of some sort. Thankfully, I'm all good. I'm all set. I have the space, but the required space is 22.5 gigabytes. That's what it says directly on the eShop page as well. So I don't know if that takes into account I don't know if it's taking into account the update, but 22.5 gigabytes. That's a lot of storage. That's a lot. That's a hefty download. But like I said, hey, if you have a micro SD card, you're more than good. But there will also be a $100 premium version of the game. And when I first saw this, because I was scrolling through the eShop, I was looking at the coming soon, because I like to see what's upcoming and see what gets added for pre-purchase. And when I saw that there was a $100 version of Mortal Kombat 11, man, I know this isn't the first game to do this. I think one of the NBA games had like a $140 premium or something like that. Maybe not. Maybe I'm making that up. But at least a $100 like premium version. That's too much for a video game, especially like, well, I guess, how much was the Fighter Pass? $25? I think it was $25. I think. I mean, even if if Smash was $60, and that'd be like $85, which is still, yeah, because there's 5 characters. I think they're selling them for $5 individually. So it's about $25 for the Fighter Pass for Smash Bros. Ultimate I'm talking about. But that'd still be only $85. Now, there are 13 DLC packs for Mortal Kombat. You can actually go, like I said, it's up for pre-purchase now. I don't know if, I think I mentioned that. It's up for pre-purchase now on the Nintendo Switch eShop. So you can go download it right now and actually see. There are 13 DLC packs for this game. But there's no updates or confirmation on what any of these are. So you're spending like, well, I guess it's the same thing with the Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter Pass. Like, I bought the Fighter Pass with with Smash. I bought it like bundled together, like a month before the game released. So, like, I already bought all the Fighter Pass stuff. I already bought it, and I don't know who's coming except Joker, who was announced like a month after the game launched. And not a month after. Actually, he was announced the day before the game launched. I'm getting my timelines all mixed up. But yeah, like, we didn't really know who was gonna come to the Fighter Pass. But 13 DLC packs already confirmed. I didn't buy a lot of the DLC for Mortal Kombat 10. I think I bought like Jason Voorhees or the Chainsaw Massacre. I think I bought like a character or two, if that. Maybe I didn't. But Mortal Kombat usually has some really cool and interesting DLC. And there's a lot of people who want like Ganondorf or Bayonetta to come to Mortal Kombat. And as cool as that would be, like, I would buy that instantly. If a Nintendo representative came to Mortal Kombat, that would be awesome. That would be great. I don't think that's the case at all. But still, Mortal Kombat usually has some really cool DLC. I don't know if it's worth spending $100 right off the bat to get access to that DLC. I'll probably end up buying what I like from the DLC packs as they're announced. But I just thought it was interesting that, It's $100 for a video game is so much. It really is. It is so much. It is so much. But either way, that's all that I really have for Mortal Kombat 11. I'm excited for the game. I really am. I just wish we knew more for the Switch. Like, it's for pre-purchase now. You can download it and buy it right now on eShop. But there's no gameplay. And that's the biggest thing. That's kind of concerning to me. But either way, 2 weeks until launch. At least it's launching day and date with other consoles. I hope it's not a rushed job to get it to be day and date. I'm excited either way. Like I said, I'm excited either way, and I'll probably end up buying it on Switch day one. But I am a little concerned. I do want to see gameplay. I want to know what I'm getting into, you know. So either way, that's all that I really have for Mortal Kombat this week. Moving on. A couple little smaller things before we get into a big topic here. Layers of Fear 2, the sequel to 2016 psychological painting horror game, will launch sometime in 2019, but it won't launch on Switch. And this isn't the first time we've heard about this. I've heard about games not launching on Switch. I mean, you look at games like Rhyme. You look at games like Wolfenstein 2. There's been a couple others, but this is kind of disheartening for me. I played Layers of Fear last year or 2 years ago. I played it like a little after it came out, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was very much. It kind of felt like it was like a walking simulator where you are walking through a twisted, demented house. And it was cool. I liked the story. It was kind of trippy, and rooms changed and crazy things happened, and there were some like puzzles and things to figure out. It was a fun, short, little horror game, and I think the first one is available on Nintendo Switch. I played it on PC back when I played it. And when I heard that it's coming to Nintendo Switch, I was excited because, like I've stated before, I buy everything on Switch. If it's on Switch, I buy it there. Like, I don't bother with my PC a lot anymore. PS4 is only for Sony exclusives or Rockstar titles that don't come to PC. But other than that, like, every game I buy on Switch these days. Like Mortal Kombat, I'm buying on Switch. Doom, I'm buying on Switch. Hellblade, I'm buying on Switch. Cuphead, I'm buying on Switch. Like, if Borderlands 3 got announced, but not for Switch. And there's no Borderlands game coming to Switch. What on earth? I was really hoping, I know I'm getting off track here. I was really hoping for a Borderlands game to come to Switch. I'm playing through the first Borderlands right now. I'm playing through Borderlands Game of the Year Enhanced. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. But I'd love to have a game like that on Switch. But yeah, like, whenever I want to buy a game, the first thing I do is I wait for either a Switch announcement or I check to see if it's coming to Switch, because, like, I just love playing games on my Switch. I really, really do. And so when Layers of Fear 2 was announced for Switch, or when they confirmed that it's coming to Switch, I was excited. I was ecstatic. And I was hoping it was a day one buy. Because I think even on, like, the Layers of Fear or the Blooper Team Twitter, the devs of the game, I think people were asking, like, is Switch going to be a day one release? And they were like, we have no answers right now. We're not sure. We'll let you know when we know. And that was kind of concerning for me. That was kind of like, oh, it's probably not a day one launch. But depending on how long it takes to get to Switch, I may just end up buying the game on PC. As much as I'd like to play it on my Switch, I may just end up buying it on PC if it takes forever. If it takes like 6-7 months like Wolfenstein 2 took. Hopefully it doesn't take that long, but Dark Souls Remastered. That's another one. Launched in May on other platforms. And launched in September, October of that following year. It launched pretty late. So hopefully that's not the case. I'm excited personally for the next Layers of Fear. Like I said, I enjoyed the first one, but it is kind of disheartening to hear that it's not coming to Switch on day one. Especially when you see games like Mortal Kombat and possibly Doom Eternal being day-and-date releases. And obviously I understand that Layers of Fear 2 is made by a smaller indie team. But still, at least it's coming to Switch. It does suck that it won't launch. Like I said, depending on how long it takes, I may just end up... I'll either wait or just buy on PC. I don't know yet, but that's an update on that I figured I'd talk about. Another fun little topic, Wolfenstein Youngblood, which is coming to Nintendo Switch, will technically get a physical copy. If by a physical copy you mean it gives you a download code instead of a game card. So, according to some retail listings in North America, Wolfenstein Youngblood on Nintendo Switch will not include a game card. Instead, it'll be, a normal video game box, like all the collectors like, but inside will be a download code which you can redeem on the eShop, and this will affect both the standard and the deluxe edition of the game. There'll be no cartridge, only a code. And of course, you're going to need an internet connection and storage if you actually want to play this game. This doesn't concern me. First off, I don't know. I wasn't really excited for I still have to beat Wolfenstein 2. I still have to beat that. Maybe about halfway through. I'm not enjoying Wolfenstein 2 as much as the first one. I want you to know I started up the first game, and beat it in 5 days and just loved it. I loved it to pieces. I played it for hours on end every day. I loved it. I loved the first one. But Wolfenstein 2 is just, I don't know. It's more or less, it's the same, but there are some changes and some experiments that Bethesda tries, and it just feels kind of not as clear of a direction as the first one felt. The first game felt like point A, point B, straight line. Wolfenstein 2 feels like point A, point B, but you have to go around here, you have to do this. Do you know what I mean? It just feels like there's a clear sense of direction. It doesn't feel as smooth as the first game felt. Some of the pacing kind of gets choppy and weird, in my opinion. It just feels like it's not as structured, or as it doesn't make as much sense as the first game. I still like it, but I haven't been as eager to finish it like I was the first one. But Wolfenstein Youngblood, which is a side game of sorts, it's not getting a cartridge, and it kind of sucks because Bethesda's been doing really great with Switch support. Obviously we have Doom, Skyrim, Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein Youngblood's coming. They were trying to get Rage 2. From what I heard, Rage 2 will not be on Nintendo Switch. But it wasn't from a lack of trying. The hardware or the technology just wasn't there. But I don't know. This, like I said, it doesn't affect me. I'm not really excited for this game, and this is probably one of those rare exceptions where I would rather pick this up on PC than Switch, just because it would look better, run better, have mouse and keyboard support. This is one of those rare exceptions, but it does kind of suck because there are a lot of people who wait and go out of their way to buy physical, especially Nintendo Switch, physical games. And if you are a collector, or if you're somebody who just prefers having the cartridge instead of downloading it, I do feel bad because like you're buying a box basically. You're buying, the box art, but you're only getting a code. You're not getting a card for it. And at that point, like, why even bother having the physical game? I mean, I guess there are some people who just like having the box art. But still, like, why even bother with it? So, it does kind of suck. Like, it's just very odd. It's very, very weird. But I think this just goes to show that digital, as much as you may not like it, digital is the future. Like, that's where we're headed. That's where we're going is digital downloads, digital games. That's where we're heading. And I don't know if this is Bethesda, like, securing a spot in that digital realm for you and, like, pushing you towards just downloading games, or if it's not even anything malicious, it's just the game's too big to fit on a card. But yeah, if you're a collector or you're someone who likes physical games, Wolfenstein Youngblood may not cut it for you. You'll get that box art, but inside will just be a paper with a string of numbers and letters that you need to enter into that eShop. And at that point, if you really want the game, you might as well just download it. But that's that. That's Wolfenstein Youngblood. No card, even with the physical box art. Man, that's rough. Moving on to something not as rough, something a little interesting, intriguing, and hopeful. And this happened like I said, this happened like a week ago. I'm super duper late, but we're talking about it now because it's kind of important. It's kind of intriguing. Best Buy had listed Persona 5, Metroid Prime Trilogy, and Link to the Past for Nintendo Switch, each with their own unique SKU. It has been pulled, each listing's been pulled, but according to Wario64 on Twitter, the listings are there in some fashion, in some form of another. They're still available, like in internal servers or something of the sort. So, about last week, Best Buy had listed Persona 5, Metroid Prime Trilogy, and Link to the Past for Nintendo Switch. And, like I said, they're now pulled, but this is kind of interesting. And from what I've heard, which, by the way, if you're listening, please go follow Wario64 on Twitter. He shares a lot of like gaming news, gaming inside information. He shares a lot of great deals for gaming as well. Definitely go give him a follow. But from what I've heard, sometimes retail stores will put up a SKU or put up a product prior to announcement, so that when that game is announced or confirmed or the like, it's ready to go. And that could very well be the case. Metroid Prime Trilogy is a game that has been talked about coming to Switch for a long time, and there's really no weight or merit for it. Like, Nintendo's hinted at nothing, but I think it just kind of makes sense. Like, I really wish Nintendo would just put this game on Switch, but it is pretty interesting that Best Buy put it into their listings. And again, I don't know if this is because they know something. I mean, remember, like, I think it was at Amazon that prior to the Game Awards or E3 or something like that, they put up like 12, 13, 14 different placeholder titles for Switch. And I don't know how many of those ended up like being like full products. I'm pretty sure a lot of them ended up being like whatever got announced at E3 or the Game Awards or whatever. But I would imagine this is probably something similar, where Best Buy, maybe they know that E3 is on its way. Maybe they have inside information, or maybe it's just them planning for future products so that the page can be ready. But it is still like, I mean, it's interesting. It's intriguing. The one that really sticks out to me isn't Metroid Prime Trilogy. That, I think, is indeed fascinating that there's a SKU for it. There was a product page for it. Same thing with Persona 5. There's rumors of that coming to Switch. With a Persona 5S or Persona 5 RS or something of the sort. The one that really caught my eye is Link to the Past. And we'll talk about Metroid Prime and Persona in a minute here. But Link to the Past, and there's already a Link's Awakening product page and SKU and everything for that. So this isn't this isn't a typo. They had Link to the Past listed for Nintendo Switch, and I don't know if, I mean, we're getting a Link's Awakening remake. I can't imagine that this year or even next year we get a Link to the Past remake. I think it's too soon with them already doing Link's Awakening, and that's not even out yet. And I mean, they already kind of, I mean, they did do on 3DS Link Between Worlds, which was kind of like a sequel or a remake of Link to the Past. So I wonder if it's something like that. Maybe it's like a follow-up game to some sort. But as of right now, Nintendo does not have a clear way to sell us old games. The only way to get NES games right now is through Nintendo Switch Online. But as for SNES, N64, and so on, Nintendo doesn't have a way to sell those games. So the only way, as of right now, would be to remake them, like Link's Awakening, and sell them as a $60 product. I don't know if I see Link to the Past getting that treatment. Like I said, with Link's Awakening on its way, like, I think that might be too soon. But this is like an odd one. Like, this is a really just an odd game. Like, who knows? Maybe, I mean, even if it was like an eShop only game, I don't know why Best Buy would have this listed. But, I mean, maybe we could see something like that, like a remake of the game of some sort, like Link Between Worlds. That would make most sense to me. But it's still such an odd game to have listed. Like, I don't know. And like I said, Link's Awakening is up there. So this isn't like a typo or anything like that. This is just, they listed Link to the Past for some reason. And so unless Nintendo is going to do a remake or a sequel to, like they're doing with Link's Awakening, for Link to the Past, or I don't know why that would even be listed, but I think it's somebody on Best Buy's end just being hopeful, I guess, that one day we'll see Link to the Past on Switch. I'm not mad at it. I'll take Link to the Past on Switch, but such an odd way to, how would they go about that? Like, how would they go about re-releasing a game like that on Switch other than remaking it? I don't know. They also had Metroid Prime Trilogy, which we kind of already talked about. I'm down for this. I feel like this is, especially with Metroid Prime 4 now being delayed and restarting development, like, please. I've never played the Metroid Prime games, so I'd love to play through them before we get Metroid Prime 4. And if Metroid Prime 4 is going to take another 4, 5, 6 years, give us something to play in the meantime. I think it just makes sense. I think it makes sense to give us Metroid Prime Trilogy. I know this is something that is kind of always talk of the town. I'd love for it to hit Switch, but that's not really, I mean, kind of an odd listing, but I think it's happened before. I think we've seen that game like get leaked or get listed like on other product pages, but Persona 5 is one that also really interests me. Right now, Persona 5 is actually available for $20 on PS4, which I've wanted to play Persona 5. Like, I've heard really good things about it. I don't know. This is probably, like, this is a game that I've heard is like 100 hours. I don't think I have the time to sit here and play through a game like that. But if I do, I'd rather buy it on, I'd rather play it on Switch than PS4. But still, $20 for this game on PS4 is not bad. But there is an upcoming Persona 5 announcement, which is currently called Persona 5R. And it's yet to be announced. I think this announcement is yet to even be made. They kind of announced the announcement. But I don't know if I don't know, like if we get an enhanced or remade version of Persona 5, I think it would be perfect for Switch. I know every game is perfect for Switch, but honestly, like a huge game like this, would be fun to have on Switch. And if they're already gonna remake and do this enhanced version, throw it on Nintendo Switch. Nintendo has that money. They'll take care of it. Plus with Joker coming to Switch, I think there's including myself, like a lot of people who have never played Persona 5 and would love to play through it and kind of get a better feel for who Joker is. Which, by the way, I think it was Best Buy as well. Let me actually see. I should have pulled this up prior. Yes, it was also Best Buy. Best Buy's leaking everything. They leaked a render for Joker in Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, I think it's now been removed. I think the ad is still there, like in their servers. And I think that ad is still out there, like, but they just removed the render. But yeah, they showed the render for Joker, and he looks clean. He actually really does look clean. But they did that as well. They leaked the render. They leaked the render for him. Way ahead of schedule. That's crazy. But yeah, like obviously having that character in Smash isn't good enough of a reason to bring a whole franchise or a whole game to Switch. I mean, look how many characters are in Smash that don't have games on Switch, like Castlevania and Metal Gear Solid and so on and so forth. But still, I do think it'd be fun. I do think it'd be nice to have this game come into Switch. So hopefully we end up seeing that. I don't know if a Best Buy listing is proof enough. Especially when in that same listing leak there was Link to the Past, which doesn't make too much sense. But that's really all I have on it. Like I said, a lot of these listings have been pulled, and this is possibly Best Buy just trying to get their trying to get a head start with possible announcements. So that could be all there is to it, but still, each item had its own unique SKU, its own like page. It's pretty crazy, and these aren't like far out games either. Like Persona 5 and Metroid Prime makes sense. Those make sense. Link to the Past is the one that really just stands out and is really, really weird, but kind of exciting. But moving on to other leaks and things being accidentally shown, Best Buy is not the only one in the heat here. Nintendo accidentally showed Stage Builder in Smash Ultimate in their latest Switch commercial. So there's actually a little tiny screen for their latest commercial, where it's kind of someone grabbing for their Nintendo Switch, and you see the TV with Smash in the background, and ever so slightly, kind of blurry, but you can make sense of it. You can make it out. Stage Builder for Smash. I want this. I loved Stage Builder in Smash Wii U. I would love it in Smash Ultimate. I just pause right there. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, they accidentally showed Stage Builder coming to Smash, and it makes sense. The next update is on its way. Was it update 3? Update 3.0 or something like that? It's on its way. Obviously, they'll probably include, I love how I said obviously and probably in the same sentence, but they'll more than likely bring Joker to the table, as well as the Stage Builder. So we're looking at a pretty fine update whenever that launches this spring. I think it actually launches this month, if I'm not mistaken. I think it launches sometime this month, before the end of the month. So we'll probably see Joker and Stage Builder pretty soon. But yeah, Nintendo, it was their own self. It was their own PR. They did it. But that was kind of interesting. I'm excited for Stage Builder possibly coming. Like I said, I liked it on Smash Wii U. I think it'd be fun on Switch for Ultimate. But the last little piece of news, as of right now, as of when I'm recording, there are, and this isn't really news, but I just wanted to mention it and make clear of it. There are there are people suggesting that there may possibly be today a Nintendo Switch. So yeah, if that's the case, first off, they have plenty to talk about. Like, they have plenty, like Luigi's Mansion, obviously Fire Emblem Three Houses. I don't know if they'll talk too much about Pokemon. I think they'll save that for E3. But Mario Maker 2, what's that one game? Astro Chain. I want to see more of that. They have stuff to talk about, so it makes sense. Like, if there is a direct this month, I don't think it's too close to E3, by the way. I hear a lot of people say that. I don't, like, Nintendo's E3 is literally a direct. Like, it's not, yeah, it's kind of like a bigger direct, and it's usually more, like, hype and more extreme, but still, like, Nintendo does these all the time throughout the year. I don't think this is too close to E3. We still have more than a month until E3. And I think they have plenty of time if they want to dissect more games and give us more information. Like, there's a lot of games coming out this year. Link's Awakening remake, like we were talking about. I think a Nintendo Direct would make sense. I think it would be great to give us some more information on recently announced games that maybe we don't know too much about. So, if that's the case, if we do end up getting a Nintendo Direct this week, I'm here for it. I'm down for it. I want it. But I think they have plenty to talk about. But just letting you know, that's obviously why we're not talking about it this week. I'll get to it next week. If it ends up happening, it's rumored for today. I think by the time I'm done recording this episode, it'll be either announced or the day will go on like it was nothing special. So we'll see. If there ends up being a direct today, you already know. I'll talk about it next week. But that's that. And I think that's all the news that I have this week. I'm skimming my notes here. I don't think there was anything that I missed. So that brings us to the end of this week's episode. Thank you so very much for listening. I do appreciate it, of course. If you enjoyed, leave a like on the video, as that would be greatly appreciated. If you want to support the show, you can find our Patreon link in the description down below. If you want to follow on Twitter for updates and more, once again, check that description. But above all else, thank you for listening. Take care. See you next time.